CaringCareersStartHere.com. Providing connections to the lives of aging Minnesotans by helping people discover careers in caregiving. More information at CaringCareersStartHere.com.
My life has changed. I was just a retired old lady before, and now I have a new job. And yeah, it's difficult at times, but it's very rewarding.
Hi, I'm Melissa Fritz, host of Inside Senior Living. As a senior living consultant during the COVID pandemic and a daughter who lost her father to Alzheimer's dementia, my inspiration for this work comes from a deeply personal place. I've seen firsthand the challenges families face when navigating the complexities of aging. Over the years, I've dedicated myself to equipping older adults and their families with the information and resources they need to make the best decisions, whether that means receiving care in their own home or making a move to a senior living community. And as we all age, this need is only going to grow. That's why we're on a mission to spark conversations, support caregivers, provide valuable resources, and promote a more age-friendly world. Meet Eleanor and Deb, a remarkable duo with an amazing story. Eleanor, a proud member of the Fond du Lac Band of Ojibwe, shows us the depth of her courage as she manages diabetes and dementia, while Deb has lovingly taken on the challenges of full-time caregiver.
My childhood, when we lived downtown here in 8th Street, it was pretty good. But when we moved out to the country, it seemed to get so rough because my father was a drinker. It wasn't until he was asked to leave, that it got better. Mother got a job at the hospital, and she was good in guiding us kids. She was well respected in the community. It was hard for us children because, I didn't know it as then, but I know it now. There was discrimination, against the kids. It's like even in school, we used to have free lunches, so they'd have us on one side and the white children, they were on the other side. So they, it got made fun of a lot. Mother, she taught us a lot to hold our head high.
I grew up in northwestern Minnesota on a dairy farm, and we had other animals too. We had pigs and horses and chickens for a while. But I had 8 brothers and 1 sister, so it was a lot of fun growing up. But we were very poor. It was hard to make a living farming at that time, and but I have a lot of good memories of growing up with that many siblings. You always had somebody to play with, and of course we worked hard. We had a lot of chores we had to do before we could play, but I think that made us all better adults, learning good work ethic.
Tell me about your relationship with Eleanor.
Well, we've known each other for a long time, and I'm committed to being her caregiver now. I'm co-guardian and conservator of her now.
And that is a true friendship, and not many people have that.
I've never had any type of caregiving other than, I guess, babysitting my younger brothers and sisters and my nieces and nephews. I didn't have any caregiving experience at all, so it's kind of learn as you go.
As Deb said, go a long way back. You know, I met her when I was a counselor at Port Rehab in Duluth. And she would come in and like in the morning and relieve me. And so we just got real close. And, you know, and like I said, when things were happening, I asked her if she'd take care of me, you know. And since then, she does such a good job, you know. And she takes me to monthly dinners with Jess, and then we go to bingo. And now, recently, she's been taking me out to the Bear to play Keno. I love Keno, you know, and so she makes my life interesting, and it's quiet for me. It's comforting, and it makes me happy.
As Eleanor's health concerns progress, managing her care is more than one person can possibly do. Thankfully, Deb's not alone. Eleanor's granddaughter Jess has been a constant support, taking on home maintenance and other care tasks. But the quality time spent with her grandmother is what she really loves.
My granddaughter Jess, I've been with her since the moment she was born.
Growing up, I lived here majority of the time. My grandma's done a lot for me when I was a kid, and even now, like, she's my best friend, and she always kept me going. Like, she would push me forward to do my best, and even then, my grandma would take me all sorts of places, and she still wants to take me to those places, so it's very nice that I have her in my life.
Jess is so very important to me. You know, it's like, I'm glad I've had the opportunity to be with her for 32 years. You know, that's important, you know, and like I say, she's my best friend, my granddaughter, and she goes with me. You know, I'm writing another poem about her, and it's like, grandmother, I have walked behind you for years until you stopped and said, you now walk beside me. I know that I pass along kindness, you know, being with the elders, treating people good. That's what she needs to know, and listen. You know, it's important to listen. And I think I've taught her those things because I see her doing that now at a different way, with taking care of the elders. You know, that's important to her, and she enjoys that, you know, so, yeah. Yeah.
It makes me feel special, you know. My grandma means everything to me.
Jess's relationship with her grandmother has been a constant source of strength. But like many families, they're also confronting serious health challenges. With Eleanor facing both diabetes and dementia, these conditions have not only shaped her life, but also Deb's role as her primary caregiver.
When I first learned I was diabetic, that was hard for me. I was 42, I believe, and I remember I was so scared when they said you're going to need insulin. I remember I was so scared to give myself a shot, and I called my sister Marilyn, and I said, sis, I'm scared to give myself a shot. She'll come down and give it to you. So she came down, she said, this is what you do, man, you know. she filled it up and just hit me with it. And she's okay, I'll see you later. That was it, my training. So slowly but surely, I learned how to give myself a shot.
An area where we're doubling down is the type 2 diabetes, specifically diabetes prevention. One of the programs that we offer is the CDC Diabetes Prevention Program, and that is already a Medicare benefit, and in Minnesota it's a Medicaid benefit as well. So it's free for people who are eligible to access, and so we're very excited to be working to make that more widely available in the community, because there's so much that can be done in that pre-diabetes stage to help delay or prevent the onset of type 2 diabetes, which truly changes the trajectory of someone's entire life. One suggestion related to that is to don't feel overwhelmed making all the changes at once. One of the things that we practice in our Living Well with Diabetes class is action planning, just one small change a week. So something that you feel at least a 7 out of 10 confidence scale that you can do, making that one small change a week just to build confidence that yes, I can make these changes and this isn't overwhelming. And I don't have to change everything I eat all at once. I can focus on first just shifting to healthier snacks. So instead of eating, having ice cream when I watch TV every night, switching to maybe instead having some carrots and hummus 4 out of the 7 nights of the week. I can still have ice cream 3 nights a week, but 4 out of the 7, I'm having my carrots and hummus. So it's a small, more manageable change, because otherwise it can just be so overwhelming that people can have what you might call analysis paralysis and freeze and might have a hard time making any changes.
I would say the biggest trends in Native American health, top one being diabetes care. I think that's such a huge concern from like a public health perspective, that we figure out what is causing the high rates of diabetes. And I think from a researcher perspective, there's the conversations that diabetes may lead to dementia, and so there's like this big concern that we can have a big wave of dementia diagnoses in 5-10 years.
When the diagnosis first came, it was hard. It was very hard, because dementia is pretty much, there's no cure, and it's not going to get any better. But, and I've tried to read and study a little bit about it, but it's like, okay, just enjoy the moment and just try to deal with it just a day at a time. Because it's, for me, it's too depressing to think way down the road. Just stay in the moment and enjoy what you can today.
Managing health challenges is no small task, but Eleanor and Deb reached out to their local community and found the lifeline they both needed.
Some of the biggest challenges for caregivers are finding resources, and respite care is one of the main ones that we try to assist them with. Respite is really the key to being able to caregive for a longer period of time, and respite care is taking a break from daily caregiving. Another thing that we're finding is a lack of home care staff, private hire staff, agency staff, staff in nursing homes. So there are limitations on who's available to help them. Another big thing is financial strains. The cost of care outside of the home is rising constantly. So our goal with this caregiver support program is to be able to help them remain at home as long as possible and maximize the home care support that I can help them find. Sometimes it's very creative. It might be a neighbor, a friend, or deep into the family as far as grandchildren even that have helped.
I needed to make an appointment, and so I asked her grandson Evan to come and sit with her. And I was only gone like an hour or so, but when after it was over, Eleanor said how good he was, and that, like, he stood by the bathroom door and she was in the bathroom and got her coffee and just really was such a good caregiver. So after that, I started now, usually on every Saturday, I'll go pick him up and he comes down for 4 hours and he takes care of his grandma. And you can tell that really helps him in his self-esteem, and they watch TV together and he makes her lunch, and it's such a good connection with those two. Oh, and he helps her with her insulin, and you know, and that makes him feel so good, and it helps me out, and it's a good connection for Eleanor too.
It's fun to be with him with Evan, because he's also very, very important to me. I know he's young, but he's so nice to have around because he talks to me and I'll say, well, what do you want to watch? Well, what do you want to watch? And I'll say, oh, watch your program, that Ridiculous or whatever it is. And we'll sit here and laugh, you know, because it's so dumb, you know.
Yeah, I would say intergenerational relationships are a trend in Indigenous communities. You know, growing up, we spent a lot of time with our elders, whether it was helping just around the house, whether it's just visiting. So that was, I think, a big part of most Indigenous communities. I would say a lot of also other cultural groups too. And I think, you know, we're noticing these intergenerational relationships shifting. You know, I think, again, the pandemic and technology has really helped communities think about innovative ways to bring generations together. And so it's kind of exciting to see not only young people teaching older adults how to use technology, but the older adults embracing technology as well and using Facebook or video games to connect with younger people that 10 years ago we probably wouldn't have done.
I text 36 people every night from the 24-hour book. I tape that out, you know, text it out. And if I miss, they contact Deb. What's wrong with them? So it's important to them. My nephew in Red Cliff, Wisconsin, you know, he's been texting me, because I haven't texted anybody this week. But they've been texting me, you know, with strong, healthy comments. Healthy. So that's my texting.
Caregivers like Deb need the time to recharge. Programs like Daybreak and the Memory Cafe offer a respite while also helping Eleanor stay engaged and connected.
Then Daybreak opened up again after COVID, and that's been very helpful for me as a caregiver, because when Eleanor goes to Daybreak, then I have 4 hours to myself to just relax and run errands, but mostly relax.
So Daybreak Group Respite has been around, well, as long as I've been here, 22 years, and that is designed to give the caregiver a break. So the caregiver drops off their loved one for 4 hours and they can go and shop or go out to lunch or go do whatever they'd like to do.
How much time do you spend out here? Is this kind of your...
As much as I can. It's relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's therapy, even to pull weeds.
Yes, yes,
Kind of forget about life's trials and just come out and watch them grow.
This is a nice size property, and you maintain this all on your own?
Yes, but in the summer, the reservation sends kids to mow.
Oh, nice. So you're getting some good supports from the reservation.
Yes, they are very helpful.
Well, that's allowing you and Eleanor to stay in your home longer.
Yes, and in the winter they come and make sure the handicap ramp is shoveled almost as soon as it stops snowing. They are out here.
Wow.
And then another thing they have is Memory Cafe every Wednesday, and that's for 2 hours, and I go with her for that, and that's nice. I enjoy it, and you know, everybody there is on the same page, so you don't have to worry about. You just don't have to worry. Nobody's going to judge you there. It's just, for me, it's relaxing, and we do different stuff.
Memory cafes are technically a support group, but we wanted something that people could come to on a regular basis. Many of them are only once a month. We decided to do it weekly. We decided to have a meal with it because there's good conversation that happens around food. And there's a lot of socialization after the pandemic, so we wanted people to get to know each other. And a testament to that is we've got some caregivers that are coming even after their spouse has been placed in memory care or has passed away. And they're still coming here, and they can come for a year, and then after that, if they want to still come, we can maybe have them be volunteers if they're interested in that. There's a lot of different avenues we can keep them with us. But they say, I'm going out kicking and screaming, I'm never going to leave.
Dementia support groups not only provide social connections, but foster creativity. That's where Eleanor was inspired to become an artist as a way to express herself despite having memory challenges.
The dementia and the arts, we highlight the artwork because people think, well, my mom couldn't do that. Well, you know what, maybe she couldn't before because her ego got in the way because she was worried what you were going to say. And now she doesn't care.
Through this support group, you know, I've learned all these new things where I just thought, I don't want to try that because I'll make it dumb, you know, but now it's beautiful what I've been doing, yeah.
And so the freedom is there and people can learn, but we've been told people can't learn. There are certain things that they can and certain things they can't. You know, music and the arts is the last to go, so we should be prescribing those things.
I never thought I could paint or even color or anything like that. And when I went to Daybreak, Carrie was so important. She's such an important lady to me because she told me that there's no right or wrong. I'm just so comfortable when I do that. Even the leaves. You know, we did leaves at Daybreak one day, and everybody said, well, I used to do that. I said, where are they? I don't know. So I came home and I thought about it and I thought, I know where they're going to be. I'm going to put them in pictures. And like I say, since then, I've given about 20 sets away, just for Christmas or from people who saw it. So I made it for them. And each has their own. Yes. To me, this picture, that little leaf,
yes,
that's important to say where they came from. They come in small and they grow big. Things like that has helped me grow, you know, and I feel so much stronger in my mind for doing that. Yeah.
Creativity is important in managing dementia, and Eleanor's Native American heritage offers a unique perspective on aging.
Earlier, I had a discussion with a Native med student at the university about what aging is in our communities. And she described this beautiful process that I have never been able to put words to. Aging with grace, aging with power, on how Western society sees it as being weak. You're becoming brittle. But that's not how Native communities see that. We honor our elders, we respect them, we learn from them.
I would say the topic of aging in the communities we work with is embraced because that's something, you know, aging is a gift that not everyone gets to have. You know, becoming an elder is not given to everyone. Growing older is, you know, not everyone gets to grow older. And so through our work, it's something that, you know, when we're working with older adults who've been nominated as an elder for this research we're doing, some of them, most of them I'd say are very surprised that that's how their community views them, only because they're very humble and they say, well, I have so much more to learn, I don't think I'm an elder yet, even though they may be like 90 years old. And so I think it's a conversation that happens a lot because I think they want the younger people to be aware that it's okay to talk about it and to get them to start thinking about what does it look like to age in a good way, even when you're 10 or 11, right? Like think about making those decisions now, those health behaviors you should be doing, like stay active and eat your native foods or stay away from things you shouldn't be doing, so yeah.
Through all the changes and challenges, Eleanor and Deb emphasize the importance of living one day at a time.
I find with caregiving, you never know what's going to happen that day, and you better learn how to pivot and just suck it up and move on. And that's some days it isn't very easy. Other days, you know, and I've learned to appreciate the days that everything runs smooth, and just go one day at a time.
I do know that I forget things, and, I'll say, well, I can't remember that. And I know that's happening, but, that's part of God's work too. Not that I get it, but that's in my life, and I've just gotten to the point where, I don't want to fight about anything or quarrel about anything. That's all in the past. Whatever that road I'm on now, my journey, that's something that I can accept day by day, And I believe looking at it that way gives me peace, serenity, and calmness. Yeah.
Eleanor and Deb show us the strength that comes from friendship, culture, and community support. Their story highlights the importance of embracing our experiences as we face the challenges of aging. Join us next week as we meet David and Deb, a couple facing the difficult diagnosis of early onset Alzheimer's. Their love and commitment to each other is sure to inspire us all.
Production of Inside Senior Living is made possible by Eldermark Senior Living Software, Helmuth and Johnson, Lotus Pharmacy, and Kickernick Gallery.